Hello, everyone, and welcome to our third annual THE Awards Asia. My name's Phil Beatty. I'm the Chief Knowledge Officer at Times Higher Education, and my co-host for the ceremony is Sarah Custer, THE's Associate Editor for Curation. Good afternoon, Sarah.
Good afternoon, Phil, and hi, everyone. As Phil said, this is the third THE Awards Asia, and sadly, it's also our second virtual ceremony. But we're optimistic that next year we'll be able to host the awards once again in Asia. For those of you who were there, we hope you enjoyed the lively discussions during THE Live Asia, but now you can relax and enjoy 45 minutes of truly inspirational stories about the work that took place during 2020, one of the most extraordinary years higher education has ever seen. The awards this year may be somewhat dominated by the pandemic, but excellence was still clearly on show in the areas that were not directly impacted by COVID-19. We know that universities responded brilliantly to that unique set of challenges, but they also carried on doing what they do best, day in and day out. It is, of course, THE's great honor to host these awards once again. We're incredibly grateful to the record number of you who entered, particularly in such a challenging period. With your enthusiasm, THE is in a genuinely privileged position in being able to tell the stories behind your outstanding work, many of which would not otherwise receive the attention they deserve.
Thanks, Sarah. And yes, thanks to all of you who entered. These awards are growing quickly, and in fact, since their launch in 2019, entry numbers have doubled in every subsequent year. So the Oscars of higher education are certainly becoming established in the calendar of the vibrant and rapidly evolving Asian higher education sector. But we're not taking things for granted. We encourage you to engage with us and make suggestions for shaping these awards in the future. All of us involved here at THE, and indeed all of those who work with us, are incredibly grateful for your enthusiastic participation, and we'd be delighted to hear what other areas of university performance you would like us to focus on. And talking of those who work with us, I'd particularly like to pay tribute to our expert panel of judges who devote a great deal of time and energy to their roles, adding essential rigor and transparency to the process.
Okay, this is how the ceremony is going to work. Phil and I will introduce the 10 categories in turn, read out the 8 finalists in alphabetical order, and then we'll announce the winners. In each case, we'll tell you a little bit about the winner and why the judges decided they stood out. But please remember that once the ceremony has concluded, an online brochure offering further analysis of the winning entries will be available at theawardsasia.com. We have 10 categories to get through in all, so let's get started. First up, it's the Excellence in Innovation in the Arts Award. Rather than focusing on exceptional artistic endeavors themselves, this category is looking to reward the institution who has found innovative and highly effective ways of promoting the arts. This may be a project or initiative that has either helped to establish or has enhanced an institution's already strong reputation in the arts. Once again, we received a fabulous range of entries, but these are the 8 who made it through to the final. University of Basra. Beijing Normal University Academy for International Communication of Chinese Culture. Communication University of Zhejiang. Hamad bin Khalifa University. Hong Kong Baptist University. Nakhon Ratchasima Rajabat University. The Tianjin Juilliard School of Collaboration with Diller Sgraffito and Renfro. Wenzhou University. It's been many months since you all submitted entries, so I'm not going to keep you waiting any longer. I'm delighted to announce that the 2021 award for Excellence in Innovation in the Arts goes to Hong Kong Baptist University. Space to Breathe is the first project from HKBU's Interdisciplinary Augmented Creativity Lab, combining big data and immersive music and installation art practices to bring climate change research to life. The judges described it as a strikingly original, highly topical, creative, collaborative, and hugely ambitious interdisciplinary project. They added that, by uniting art and science to educate, inspire, and entertain, HKBU's entry is an outstanding example of how a university can mobilize its resources to push the boundaries of public appreciation of and interaction with art. Huge congratulations to Hong Kong Baptist University. Phil, over to you for our second category.
Thanks very much, Sarah. Our second category is for the International Strategy of the Year. The first one featuring a number of finalists whose work was directly impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. Many established international engagement strategies had to be reviewed and swiftly adapted. And as this outstanding shortlist shows, a significant number of the resulting new approaches were implemented incredibly successfully, meaning relationships and bonds were not only maintained during the most challenging of circumstances, but in numerous cases, they positively thrived and grew. Our judges were looking for an institution whose strategy has enhanced its profile internationally and delivered on its core mission. The finalists are Birzeit University, Chinese University of Hong Kong, Chitkara University, Hangzhou Dianzi University, King Faisal University, Crick University, Shanghai University, the Southern University of Science and Technology, SUSTech. And without further ado, I'm delighted to announce that the winner is Hangzhou Dianzi University. With global travel coming to a halt in 2020, forcing many universities to establish new and innovative ways of continuing their internationalization strategies, Hangzhou Dianzi University managed to both deepen its existing partnerships and launch new ones. The university's strategy focused on expanding international exchange and cooperation with countries along the Belt and Road route by taking advantage of its strength in information-related disciplines. The result was 12 new collaboration agreements involving 128 global partners across 30 countries and 6 international online academic conferences. The judges praised Hangzhou Dianzi for the clarity in its direction and approach. Our congratulations once again go to Hangzhou Dianzi University in China. And in this category, our judges decided that the Chinese University of Hong Kong should be highly commended for its virtual student exchange initiative. Our congratulations go to them too. Back to you, Sarah.
Our third category focuses on the student recruitment campaign of the year, another aspect of university life that saw rapid and often drastic changes to established strategies during the pandemic. For this category, we're looking for innovative campaigns that stand out from more traditional approaches in the region. The 8 best entries, according to the judges, are Al-Marefa University, Almaty Management University, Hanoi University of Science and Technology, Nanyang Technological University, Singapore, OP Jindal Global University, Shanghai University, Shuilini University of Biotechnology and Management Sciences, Tzu Chi University. And it's my pleasure to announce that this year's winner of the Student Recruitment Campaign of the Year is Hanoi University of Science and Technology. Transforming student recruitment during a pandemic would be a challenge for any institution, but HUST successfully led this process for scores of institutions. For a number of years, HUST has chaired the Vietnam Northern Admissions Association, analyzing the admission scores for students applying for 50 to 60 universities based on each member's course list, entry requirements, and recruitment targets. In 2020, HUST introduced a new online application portal and an optional aptitude test. This represents a significant shift for Vietnam, where admissions have traditionally been shaped only by scores and national entrance examinations. Our judges were impressed to see that HUST's approach led to a better student intake for all participating institutions, and noted how, quote, HUST adopted an online approach to connect applicants to current students and alumni, allowing them to gain a good understanding of the university. Congratulations once again to HUST in Vietnam. This was another closely fought category, and here the judges asked for Shulini University of Biotechnology and Management Sciences in India to be highly commended for its innovative Ideas That Matter campaign, which resulted in increased student application numbers and diversity.
Our fourth category this year is for the Teaching and Learning Strategy of the Year. When COVID-19 first arrived, a primary concern for universities across the world was ensuring that teachers could continue to teach and students were still able to learn and still gain the maximum benefit from their education. This category recognizes an institution whose approach was particularly distinctive and innovative. Here are the finalists: Airlangga University, City University of Hong Kong, Gulf Medical University, Lahore University of Management Sciences, University Malaysia Sarawak, or UNIMAS, Centre for Applied Learning and Multimedia, University of Management and Technology, National Sun Yat-sen University, National University of Singapore. With so many brilliant responses to the pandemic, it's no surprise that we received a huge number of entries in this category. So the finalists from a wide range of territories really stepped up to the plate. Of course, their own individual challenges were unique, so the judging panel had an incredibly tough time just to select one. But they finally did, and I'm delighted to announce that the winner of the Teaching and Learning Strategy of the Year is the National University of Singapore. The pandemic has created an opportunity for universities to leverage technology to encourage more self-directed learning among students by giving students the option to use 8 unrestricted elective module credits, either in a group or individually. NUS's Design Your Own Module program instills independence and critical thinking and cultivates a knowledge of how to learn that will serve them well, not just now, but throughout their lives. The scheme has proved exceptionally popular with students. More than 1,800 completed MOOCs under one option of the program in 2020. And the number of groups designing their own module with an NUS mentor doubled from 8 in December 2019 to 16 in 2020. In total, more than 800 students have benefited from this option. As we said, there were some brilliant entries in this category this year, and the judges decided that UNIMAS, Centre for Applied Learning and Multimedia, should also be highly commended. Congratulations. Back to you, Sarah.
Now we have 2 categories that did not require institutions to enter. And unlike the other 8, the winners here come not from our esteemed panel of judges, but instead from the data submitted by universities across the continent for our suite of World University Rankings. Of course, THE Awards Asia are separate from and very different to THE's rankings, but for these 2 categories, we asked our data team to look at a particular slice of the data submitted to us and reveal something new about university performance that the rankings simply can't capture. For the first of these, the THE Data Points Improved Performance Award, We use THE rankings data to assess the institutions whose performance has improved most in recent years against a range of specific measures. You can read more about our methodology in the winner's brochure that will be available to download as soon as the ceremony is over. So, against the data team's measures, the following 8 institutions came out on top. Central South University, Guangxi University, Imam Abdul Rahman bin Faisal University, University of Jordan, Kansai Medical University, Kansai Gakuin University, Tapar Institute of Engineering and Technology, University Utara Malaysia. These are 8 institutions who can be seen to have improved steadily year on year. In doing so, they're providing increased opportunities for students and a better and more prestigious working environment for their staff. It's a pleasure to be able to announce that this year's THE Data Points Improved Performance Award goes to University Utara Malaysia. University Utara Malaysia has enjoyed steady progress in the World University Rankings. It placed in the 601 to 800 band in 2021 after rising from a position among the 1,000 plus band just 3 years before. Most of its undergraduate courses are taught in English, but students must also learn Malay during their degrees. Policies such as this may have helped it climb in the ranking, as international outlook is a core component of its improved scores. Our congratulations once again to the University Utara Malaysia. Back to you, Phil, to talk us through our second data category.
Thanks, Sarah. It's always worth stressing that these awards are completely unrelated to any of THE's rankings or institutions' position in those rankings. These data categories allow us to recognize different qualities that the rankings simply cannot capture. So our second data category this year is the THE Data Points Social Impact Award, for which our team examined data submitted for the THE's impact rankings. These take the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals as a framework for assessing which universities around the globe may be benefiting society and ways that move beyond just research prowess. This particular category rewards transparency, highlighting the universities who have provided the most public evidence in a group of SDGs that relate to social issues such as health, education, and poverty. And again, a reminder that there will be more detail in our winners brochure that you can download when the ceremony has concluded. The 8 institutions who came out on top on the data team's measures were Abdullah Gul University, Hanyang University, Hiroshima University, Institute Technology Sepuluh November, Kyungpook National University, Mahidol University, National Chankor University of Education, Princess Noor bint Abdulrahman University, University SANS Malaysia. Again, this is a fantastic range of institutions displaying a real desire from Turkey to the west to South Korea in the east to publicly demonstrate how they're working towards the SDGs that relate to social issues. On behalf of our fantastic data team, I'm delighted to tell you that the winner of this year's THE Data Points Social Impact Award is Institute Technology Sepuluh November. Our analysts say that Indonesia's institution is one of the standout global performers on this issue, with an impressive transparency score that demonstrated not only a commitment to the SDGs, but also a desire to publicly back that up and share that expertise and that commitment. The University, which is at the forefront of fostering sustainable development through smart and eco-campus initiatives at its site in the city of Surabaya, also placed in the top 100 overall in the impact rankings, an achievement that would have been boosted by this transparent approach. Our congratulations once again to Institute Technology Sepuluh November in Indonesia. Sarah, back to you.
Our final 4 categories were once again assessed by our panel of judges. Next up is the Technological or Digital Innovation of the Year. And while not all our shortlisted entries feature work directly addressing pandemic challenges, if ever there was a year to emphasize just how fundamentally important technology is to our sector, 2021 was surely it. Here are the top 8 from the huge number of entries we received. Hong Kong Baptist University, Mabalacat City College, University of Malakand, National University of Singapore, National Yunlin University of Science and Technology, OP Jindo Global University, Sukao University, Yonsei University. And I'm delighted to tell you that the Technological or Digital Innovation of the Year award goes to OP Jindo Global University. Although JGU's COVID-19 response toolkit wasn't the most high-tech submission seen by the panel, it had huge social impact in a vast country that has been one of the world's hardest hit by COVID. Our judges hailed the toolkit as a fantastically useful document that could be scaled for universities worldwide, and applauded the fact that TOE, a cloud-based application that could be used at educational institutions across India, including at primary and secondary level, was being used to bridge India's digital divide. Congratulations once again to OP Jindo Global University in India.
Our 8th award is for Workplace of the Year. This is always a tough one for the judges. The great diversity of the Asian continent means working environments can be very different, making it a real challenge to compare the things they do so well for both incoming and existing staff. But eventually we managed to reduce this year's entrants to a shortlist of 8, and they are Amity University, Uttar Pradesh, Diponegoro University, University of Faisalabad, King Faisal University, Nanyang Technological University of Singapore, Legal and Secretarial Office, National Donghua University, OP Jindal Global University, St. Joseph University of Beirut. That diversity I mentioned is clearly displayed here. 8 highly distinctive institutions who brilliantly attract and support staff year in, year out. But as ever, there can be only one winner, and this year's Workplace of the Year is St. Joseph University of Beirut. The public health crisis triggered by COVID-19 dominated every aspect of life in 2020. For St. Joseph University of Beirut, however, it was not the only all-consuming crisis. In August, a catastrophic explosion in Beirut's port caused devastation and demanded a response from a society already stretched to the limit by the pandemic. Prioritizing the well-being of its staff, USJ launched 3 initiatives: a program which saw over 200 staff and student volunteers provide food for the neediest families, a psychological and spiritual support program, and a community outreach effort to address the economic crisis and socio-political unrest that overlapped with the city's health crisis. Our judging panel said that response that was unique to those circumstances, but also had the effect of contributing to the creation of a very positive workplace environment. Our huge congratulations once again to St. Joseph University of Beirut.
Well, just 2 more categories to go, and our penultimate award goes to the institution offering the most outstanding support for students. We no longer look at just student services teams for this one. Both pastoral and academic support packages are considered, and these may come from any part of the university. Ultimately, this award is given to the institution that best helps students to gain the maximum benefit from their studies. The top 8 entries are Airlenga University, Chulalongkorn University, Hong Kong Baptist University, Mabalacat City College, University Malaysia Perlis, UNIMAP, Nakhon Ratchasima Rajabat University, Nanyang Technological University Singapore, University Technology Petronas. We were innovated with entries for this one, almost 100 in all, so it's taken a huge amount of work by our judges to reach this stage. And I'm delighted to announce that the winner of this year's Outstanding Support for Students is University Technology Petronas. University Technology Petronas received this year's Outstanding Support for Students Award for a virtual entrepreneurship program that not only supported students through the pandemic, but also has a scope to become a long-term project. The Technopreneurship Center organized 58 entrepreneurial development programs, 90% of which were delivered virtually, seeking to provide students with an alternative route towards employment and to nurture an entrepreneurial mindset. The judges said the program supports students now and in the future to make the most of their education and gives them the opportunity to proceed to startups or to innovative roles with existing organizations. It shows significant scale in terms of student benefit. Congratulations once again to University Technology Petronas. Okay, Phil, over to you to reveal the big winner of the evening.
Thank you, Sarah. And yes, we've now arrived at the 10th and final category of this year's ceremony. When we reveal who, for the next few months at least, will be able to call themselves THE's Leadership and Management Team of the Year in Asia and the Middle East. These 8 institutions have performed particularly brilliantly during one of the most turbulent periods in many decades. And in each case, at the helm is a leadership team who work diligently, decisively, and collaboratively to ensure that on their watch, higher education continued to thrive and deliver for both students and staff. We asked each of our finalists to send us a very short video encapsulating what their institution is all about. And here they are. Al Najah National University in Palestine, Chulalongkorn University in Thailand, Diponegoro University in Indonesia, Fujita Health University in Japan, Islamic University of Lebanon, Kalinga Institute of Industrial Technology in India, LaSalle College of the Arts in Singapore, University Malaysia Sarawak in Malaysia, What a fantastic testimony it is to the quality of higher education right across Asia and the Middle East, that our 8 finalists this year come from 8 different territories. Needless to say, the judges deliberated long and hard before making a final decision. And it's my pleasure to announce that the winner of THE's Leadership and Management Team of the Year for 2021 is Kalinga Institute of Industrial Technology. KIIT stood out for the sheer volume and range of its contributions, including the development of free COVID-19 hospitals, its widespread distribution of masks and sanitizers, and the provision of free higher education for children of parents lost in the pandemic. As well as making the pivot to remote online learning and examinations without significant disruption to their academic calendar, KIIT's leadership team saw to it that the institution delivered an extraordinary level of support to its local communities. No fewer than 4 specialist COVID hospitals were set up with help from the Odisha state government, treating thousands of patients, and essential commodities were distributed to those in need across the state. The university also broadcast free educational programs on regional television and provided free personal protective equipment for local health workers. The judges concluded that by addressing the challenge of COVID-19 through the implementation of online platforms for educational purposes in collaboration with external stakeholders, the development of medical facilities, and community engagement activities, KIIT demonstrated both its readiness and capacity to react to the unknown, and also its engagement to serve society. Our congratulations once again to KIIT. Okay, that's it for the 2021 winners, but I'm now going to pass you back to Sarah for some exciting news about these awards next year.
Thanks, Phil. I have one final important announcement to make about next year's awards. we've decided to bring the ceremony into the program of our THE Asia University Summit, which kicks off at the end of May. This means it's going to be a much shorter process and the entry period is coming up soon. We'll be publishing the 2022 categories and criteria in just a couple of days' time. If you haven't already done so, please sign up for the latest THE Asia Awards news at www.theawardsasia.com. That way, you will always be among the first to receive crucial information such as opening and closing dates for entry. We look forward to another record number of institutions entering then, and of course, we hope we can once again celebrate your wonderful work together and in person. Finally, I'd just like to say it's been a real pleasure to co-host this year's ceremony, and I look forward to crossing paths with some of you in the not too distant future, hopefully. I'll now hand it back to Phil for some closing words.
Thanks again, Sarah. So we've reached the end of our third THE Awards Asia ceremony. Thank you once again to the record number of you who entered this year, and to all brilliant finalists who have joined us today. Your work in recent times has been truly remarkable, and a huge congratulations to our 10 winners, of course. We hope you will spread the news of your success far and wide, as we intend to do so. We need to share this inspiration, share this good practice for the benefit of the whole of the Asian higher education community. And thanks too to everyone who has attended another fantastic day of high quality discussion at THE Campus Live Asia. And as Sarah mentioned, don't forget that the THE Awards Asia 2022 journey starts in a couple of days, when we'll be concentrating on activity during the 2021 calendar year. We know your brilliant COVID response work continued, but we have no doubt that there are many great other fabulous stories to tell. So please do send them in. We can't wait to read them and to celebrate once again next year. Thank you very much indeed, and congratulations to all.